Hi, I'm Coco from Tarot Geek, and I am filming a VR called Deck Crush from Don Michelle, Lisa Papez, Danny Mystic, and Marlena Teresa. I have only watched Don's video, and I decided I was just going to watch hers and then come home and film, because that way I would film because I'd be excited to watch everybody else's. So I am doing this outside because I just got off work and my husband is still working and I'm trying to be quiet. So I'm going to start off with the Fling deck, which you had a short period of wild times and a ton of fun with, and probably would do it again. And that is the Rosebud Tarot. It comes in a box like that. And it is a collage deck. It was a Kickstarter that I got about a year ago. And that was one of my rules is I had to have had the deck for at least a year, and I had to have used it within the last year to do the tag. And so this one I got it when the Kickstarters came out, which was right around like February last year, like the beginning of February. Okay, and the next one is Puppy Love, a deck which you were infatuated with but could not make a long-term commitment to. And for me, that was the Blood Oath box. And it's a beautiful deck. And I think what happened was I would try using it sometimes in the evening and it was kind of dark, and sometimes it doesn't look that dark if you see it in the pictures, but inside, if it's nighttime, it ends up being kind of dark. But I mean I do really like the deck. It's just I did work with it for a while and then really enjoyed it, and then I just haven't been using it. And now that I'm looking at it, I'm kind of wondering why. But beautiful deck. And then the next prompt is, I made one up here. They're Just My Friend. A deck that you are enjoying spending time with, but you're not in love with it yet. Or you might not ever be. And that is...
I'm not sure I understand.
Oh, no, not Siri. That is the Wind Rose Tarot, and that is by Aya Rosen, and I do always love her artwork, some of her other decks. And this one is a really fun deck, and it is very fun to play with, and I enjoy it, but it is not something that I ever just think I'm in love with or can't live without or anything. But it's a good reader, it's fun to use. I like that it can work as playing cards. And that is the Wind Rose Tarot. And then the next one is Friends with Benefits, a deck you care about but sometimes get extremely passionate about. And that is, for me, the Witch's Tarot. And I do really like this deck, but it isn't something that I go to all the time and read with. What happens is if I look at it on my shelf, I want to use it, and then I'm passionate about it, and then I play with it for a couple weeks, and then I put it away. And this is a really cool deck. Another deck that I got on that I backed on Kickstarter. Very fun and very witchy. And very unique. And sometimes I like photographic decks. I think they're fun. And this does have nudity, by the way. I think like a lot of my decks have nudity a lot of the time. And this deck has a lot of nudity. But yeah, so this is a deck. Sometimes I'm really, really into it and really like it. a lot of the time. And then I put it away and I forget about it. All right. And the next prompt is love at first sight, a deck you loved the moment you saw it. And that, for me, is the Lioness Oracle. And I saw this deck several years ago, and the second I saw it, I ordered it. Oh, here's the front of the box. And I still use it all the time and love it. I think it's just beautiful. Just a gorgeous deck. And there's a David Bowie card, and I love David Bowie, so the decks with David Bowie, I always want to get. It has a lot of lions and tigers and sparkly and roses, and it's so pretty. It just makes me happy when I use it. And the very first time I saw it, I loved it, and I still love it to this day. And I still use it all the time. And there's nothing like it. Okay, and this is still in print. Okay, next prompt. Oh, whoops, did I skip one? No, I didn't skip one. Sorry, I got lost. Oh, a one-night stand. And that is a deck you tried but moved on from almost immediately. But sometimes you still think about the deck. And for me, that is the Painted Tarot. It's beautiful. I think the deck is gorgeous. I think what happened is when I got this, I got several other Kickstarters at the same time, and I thought the deck was cool and beautiful, and then I was playing with other things and just didn't use it very much. And still to this day, I haven't used it that much, even though I love it. I think it's cool. I like the art. It's awesome. It's beautiful. I should make it a point to use it, but then I already have so many decks that I want to spend time with this year. I'm trying not to buy much this year and just use the decks I have. Because I have so many that I just want to spend time with and just really get to know better. And so I'm trying really not to bring in new stuff this year. I have done a few trades, and I've got a couple things. Not too bad. Okay, next one. Oh, okay. We were on a break. A deck you're separated for any reason. And this deck, I think I've had this deck for 7 years. I get so into this deck that sometimes it's the only deck I want to use. And I try and put it away for periods of time. And sometimes I am able to, and sometimes I keep going back to it. And if you're in Don Michelle's group, you've probably seen me use this deck a lot. And I was trying not to use it this year, and I already used it. But right now, I'm trying to be on a break because I'm trying to use some other decks instead. And I'm trying not to use same deck over and over and over and over, which is what I do with this one. And this is the Invisible Light Tarot, and it is by Brandy Allen. And I know this deck like the back of my hand. One time I left it over at the house on the coast, and I bought another one. And it was a Kickstarter, and boy, I fell in love with it then. It was the most expensive deck that I had ever bought at that time. And, you know, now everything's that much, but at the time it seemed very expensive. And I love it. And I love it so much, and it reads so well for me that I just have to put it away sometimes and be on a break. And right now, we're having a break because I've used it too much in the last few years, to the detriment of other decks that I want to spend time with. So that's we're on a break. Oops. Okay, the next one. Oh, this one I added in. Oh, and this is my one exception to the not. I've had this deck not a year. And it's because I'm calling it a rare gem, a deck you know very well. You don't know very well yet, but knew from the first moment you got it, it sparkled. And that is my Spirit Keepers Tarot. And I've been using this every day so far this year. And I'm trying to get up early and spend about 45 minutes with it and, read the book and kind of just get to know it better because it's so complex. It's got so many different aspects in it. And it's just gorgeous and it's special. And I haven't had it that long, but I already know that. And I just am in love with it already. But I don't know it as well as I know some of my other decks. And I started working with it a little bit last year, but I just didn't get to spend the time that I wanted to with it. But there's so much thought behind everything. And Benabel's brilliant. And I think you can pre-order another same edition, but second printing of this deck. And if you like it, then it's a good time to do it because her decks go out of print and then are really hard to find. Okay, that is the Spirit Keepers Tarot. And then next one is Marriage Material. And that is a deck that has proven its value to you over time. And there are so many decks that could fit into that category. But I was trying not to pick the same deck as Dawn picked, because I might have done that. But there's another deck that I use a lot and love and think it's fantastic, and that is the Tabula Mundi Tarot. And this is the Marriage Material deck. And this is an amazing deck, and I have many different editions and sizes of this deck. And I think it is brilliantly done and a favorite that I will keep forever and probably get everything I can from her because I love her tarot. And I'm sure you guys have seen this before, but it is definitely a deck worth your time. And the Empress, I love the Empress card. Okay. And that is the Tabula Mundi. And then the last prompt is Happily Ever After Your True Love in a Deck. And I could have picked a bunch, but I am picking the Stunning Tarot from Yonasa Yaus. And everything she does I love. I am just in love with her decks. And this is the first edition. Oh, and here's the box. Did I show you the box? There's the box. And I have the second and third edition. And I'll show you the second. I'm going to have the third out here. But the third's pretty similar to the first. But very witchy deck. And just very cool. And I'll show you just a few of the pinnacles. There's some pinnacles. Well, there's only one there. Temperance, Ace of Wands. I'll show you a little bit of the second edition. It's small. It's a tiny one, so it's kind of like a little mini that you can take with you. And it has a little bit different coloring. And some of the cards are different, but not a lot of them. It's the same. It's got more pink tones. It's beautiful. And that is the Standing Tarot. And that is the last prompt. Thanks for watching. Bye.